Ooh la 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 ooh la 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 ooh la la. Hi guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys are notified every time I post a video. And yeah, today I'm going to be getting ready. I have a dinner to go to. So I have some new products actually that I've been wanting to try. I have like some samples. I'm gonna see if I like it and see if I want to buy it. I don't know if you guys can tell so far. If you guys have been watching my videos, I use like the same products basically every time. Like, I am very anal about my makeup products. I just, like, I have a routine that I've had for years and it works and people like it, and I like to stick to what works with my routine, and I don't really like to stray away from it. But like I said, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna try something new. You know what I mean? This is definitely like my trying something new era with everything in my life going on. But I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow for my eyebrows, and I'm gonna talk to you guys today while I do my makeup. Of course, these are like my favorite videos to do because I really actually love talking. If you know me, like, I talk. Honestly, it really depends on my mood, but I really talk a lot. If I really like you and I trust you and I'm comfortable with you, I could talk. Okay, I could talk for years. When I do my brows, it's really hard for me to talk though, so I'm not gonna get into the topic yet. But I'm just gonna go through and do them real quick, speed up the video, and then when I'm done with them, we can get into the topic. Okay, so now that my brows are done, I'm actually really excited to talk about today's topic. I've been looking forward to talking about today's topic since today's topic happened, and I just wasn't in a place, you know what I mean? But now, like, I have literally been looking forward to this video. Never thought this day would come, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, today I'm going to be talking about how I got over my breakup, y'all. Literally. I feel like that's like my favorite thing to say. I have a really natural lash on today, so I'm not gonna do anything too crazy with my makeup. But we're really, I always say that and then I end up with like a full beat, like, and I really don't even think it's because of my makeup. I think it's just because of my skin. Like, when I lay the makeup on it, like, this is literally just concealer. And it was the tiniest amount of concealer, and it looks so full coverage, and it was LA Girl Pro. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just kind of blessed. I'm just blessed, I like to say that but I'm literally blessed because, like, I get people all the time like, girl, your foundation is so full coverage. Like, what do you use? And I will literally say drugstore because, like, I don't need much. I don't need nothing crazy. But I'm going to start with priming my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Yeah, you guys, I'm using the Photo Finish Primer. But yes, anyways, back to the topic at hand, you guys. We're going to be talking about how I got over my breakup. And I'm going to talk about this today because it was so funny when I was going through it. At the very beginning, everybody's like, oh my God, you're so strong. Like, you're literally so strong. Like, how do you get over a relationship so fast? And this was like the same, and I'm not gonna only talk about my most recent relationship. I'm gonna talk about both of my relationships. I've only ever had 2 relationships because I'm very, 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 like, when I get back into a single mindset, it's very hard to take me out of that mindset. For this specific reason, because I don't like the ending. Like, I know, like, I know that, like, that's the only way I'm going to be able to find my husband, right? Like, you have to try and see. And then it's like, you know, you could end or you couldn't end. Like, you really never know the outcome. But for me, I don't know. There'd be something in me at certain points where I'm like, I know this isn't going to end well. Or, like, with certain people, I'm like, I just feel like this might not end well. Like, I want it to end well, of course. But I just be feeling like sometimes, like, this might not end well. And I don't even like taking myself out of my productive mindset. Because when I'm single, I get things done, okay? I get stuff done. And I get stuff done fast. Like, I'm a very hard worker. Like, very hard worker. But when I get in relationships, I just feel like I just get in my soft bag where I'm like, babe, my man, you know? I get like that. And so whenever I am single and I finally get back in the routine of like being on my own timing and like doing my own thing, I'm like, take me out the streets. And I don't even really when I'm single, I don't be in the streets. But like, take me out the streets, I'm good. I'm good, love. But anyway, so people are always like, girl, how are you like getting over this stuff so fast? And I really don't get over things fast. Like, I just want y'all to know, I don't get over things fast. Side note, I'm gonna be using the shade 445 Neutral. This is the Lancome. It's the new foundation that Lancome has. I really cannot remember. But I'm gonna see if this is the right shade for me. It looks pretty spot on if you ask me. It looks pretty spot on. I'm a little nervous, y'all. Like, I hate trying new makeup. But I'm really trying to get into it because it's like, if you don't try, you won't know. We're just gonna see how this goes. I'm nervous. This looks like my shade to the T, though. Anyways, y'all, it's taking me forever to get into this topic. But basically, I don't get over relationships fast. I think I'm just really good at not putting my business on the internet. Like, I think that's really like what it boils down to, because a lot of people get out of relationships and they're like on Instagram blasting people and just like, you know, just telling all of their business, like how they're feeling. I think that's what it boils down to, is just like how much of your emotional business that you're putting on the internet. And I just don't. It's like, I put my business on the internet, but it's like, I don't tell y'all the whole story, obviously, because if you're my close friend, you know what I'm saying? But if you're just like someone who just likes me and whatever, like, you're not gonna know all of my business. I really like this so far, actually. This is pretty. And it feels really soft. I'm probably gonna add another layer to it because I don't know. I just really like really full coverage. I mean, this is full coverage, but anyways. People always are asking me like, okay, how are you getting over your relationship so fast? Blah, blah, blah. And they said that with my first relationship, and they said that with my last relationship. And I'm going to tell you guys how I got over it, because I will say I'm finally at a point where I'm over it. But it took me, this is like we're going on month 7. So it's taken me like 7 months so far to get to this point that I'm at right now. And in my first relationship, it took me an entire year before I started dating again. And it's looking like we're doing that times 2. So I'm going to give you guys a little backstory on my last relationship and a little bit of backstory on my first relationship. My first relationship was in college, and it was like right before the pandemic, and it was with a guy that had been trying to get with me forever. And this is really crazy because you guys are gonna see like the similarities in like both of the stories, because like I've seen the similarities in both of the stories. But It was with a guy who had been trying to get with me for like years. Like, he had been trying to get with me for years, and I just, for some reason, I don't know, I think I just wasn't attracted. I wasn't really like super attracted, and I'm not even gonna say physically, because like that's not really a thing for me. I mean, it is a thing for me, but I can get over that, like, and I know I can get over that, so it's not really like a huge thing for me. But it's not a huge thing for me, but like at the same time, at the beginning, it plays a role. So anyways, I wasn't attracted, you know, I was not interested in dating this man. And then I don't know what happened. He might have just got me at a really good time. We started talking. We talked for like 8 months. We got in a relationship, but it was long distance because he was playing basketball in Colorado at the time. And I was going to Howard University. So, and we actually knew each other from like growing up because we grew up in the same area. And I was friends with like his little brother and stuff when we were in high school. Or middle school. So yeah, that was like how we tied together. He ended up being like a cheater, super narcissistic, etc., etc. I found out that he was cheating on me because the girl had DM'd me. It's always like that, you know, like the girls know you. They know your Instagram. They know y'all are together, but they're like, I don't give a fuck, you know? And then, I don't know what happened with their situation, but I guess she had like gotten upset and DM'd me or whatever and like ruined it. I don't know. I'm glad she DM'd me. At the end of the day, I'm never mad at the girl coming to me as a woman because it's like, thank you. You can have him. I will exit the situation. Because like, I don't like to share. And at the same time too, it's like, if you think you're being slick and like getting over on me, it's just like, you should have known better. So yeah, I will happily remove myself from the situation and y'all can go be happy over there and I will be happy over here. Whatever. And then my last relationship, and it was similar in the way of like, we were friends for a while. And I wouldn't even say friends because I was actually low-key curving him for a minute. Not even curving. I don't even know how to explain what we were doing. We just were like pen pals. Like, I don't know. We were just FaceTiming a lot at the beginning. I was kind of rude when he first DM'd me because I was still like getting over like this situationship I was in. And, you know, we were like FaceTiming and texting sporadically for like 8 months. And then we ended up meeting in like January of last year. And we like hit it off, like off rip. I'm like, wait, hold on. I kind of like this man, ? Like before we had like actually linked in person, I was like on some, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, like he's here, like whatever, like I'm gonna not take advantage, but just be like, you know, like I don't really care about this person that deep and I don't mind being in like a whatever type of thing with this person. So I was just kind of vibing and, you know, I would talk shit with my friends, like normal things that girls do when they're dating. And we ended up hitting it off and it was like as soon as we linked, we were together. And after that, this is where things like get kind of like, you know, questionable. He moved in with me in my apartment that I was staying in DC. And then we lived together pretty much ever since that point. So like he played football and so like, you know, he was here during he was at my apartment during off season. And then like, I'm sweating, y'all. I gotta turn on my, you guys can't hear the AC, but it's literally 500 degrees in here. I have to turn it on. Like, I'm trying to do my makeup and I'm sweating. And if you've ever tried to do your makeup while you're sweating, you know what I'm talking about. Just doesn't give. But basically, like, fast forward this story. We were living together. I ended up moving across the country with him to Arizona. And, you know, kind of like left everything behind. and was like, you know, I'm gonna figure out an alternative route to my dreams while I follow this man, because I'm like, I want us to work. Like, I'm not doing long distance again, because y'all saw how the last long distance relationship turned out, and I really care about this person. So like, I'm going. Like, I was in love, y'all. Like, I was head over heels. I'm like, I found my husband. Like, you know, it was one of those. Like, I found my husband. This is it. This is it. I am not letting him go, okay? Like, I'm gonna chase this man. So, followed that man all the way to Arizona. I stayed in Arizona for a good 4 months, and then we broke up. I had to leave and evacuate the premises and find my way back home to my parents' house, okay? So, I came back to my parents' house, and through him, like, also, it's like, you know, this is my perspective, and I'm sure his perspective is completely different than mine. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna take everybody's story with, like, whatever we're gonna take people's story as, but I tell the raw truth, okay? I tell the raw truth, and I'm gonna explain my wrongs later on in the video, but, like, I tell the truth. I tell nothing but the truth, but I'm sure his perspective is a little different than mine. Of course, everybody's perspective is different, but yeah, I stayed in Arizona for like 4 months. We broke up. I was stranded. I'm like, what the freak? Like, you know what I mean? Found my way back home, and now we're here. So I got back home, and everybody's like, oh my God, you're so strong. A lot of people don't leave. Like, a lot of people put up with things because, like, you know, the circumstance was what it was. It's like, I live with this person, and I kind of left everything I had going on for myself behind to go and be with this person. And then for me to end it, it's like, yeah, but I really had no choice but to end it. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of men don't like to break up with women, so, ooh, let me start blending. A lot of men don't like to break up with women, so they kind of make them hate them. They kind of, like, do this thing where they, like, make you hate them so that you could break up with them. Sorry, y'all. This was starting to dry. Yeah, they do this thing where they make you hate them so you can break up with them. It was kind of one of those. So, after I came back home, I'm the type, like, when I break up with someone, I literally never, ever, 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 ever double back. I could be in love with you. Like, I could be head over heels in love with you. Like, I see my future with you. I want to have kids. I want to be married. And I'll still choose myself every time. Like, it took years of self-growth and self-worth practice to really get to this point. Which is also why I'm glad I never really dated that much when I was younger, because I was not prepared. I probably would have been in so many toxic relationships that I literally could not leave even if I wanted to, because I didn't have an idea of self-worth. But I'm at a point in my life where, like, girl, I know what I have to bring to the table, and you know what I mean? Like, I know that I'm a great woman and someone is going to appreciate it one day. Like, I don't need to stick around with somebody who's BSing and making me feel less than and all of that just for the sake of a relationship. Like, I'm not that type of person. Like, I will leave, and I will happily leave. And I tell everyone that I get in relationships with, like, I am not forcing you to be here. If this is somewhere you don't want to be, I can go, you can go. Like, no one is forced to stay here. Like, I promise you, I will be okay. Like, it'll be a healing process, but I will be fine. So, yeah, y'all, broke up or whatever, came back, and everyone's like, oh my God, like, you're so strong. Like, how did you do that? And it's like, part of it boils down to self-worth, but part of it boils down to, like, what you're willing to tolerate. And I personally, I'm young. I don't have any kids. Like, my tolerance is pretty low. Like, I don't have to stick around. Like, we live a totally different life. Like, I don't have kids. I don't have to go as hard. I don't have kids. I don't have to go as hard. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's, like, the little backstory of my situation. How I got over it, you guys, like, When I tell you, that was a process. I was hurt. I was distraught. I was like, my world is over. Like, despite how well I held it together and how well I held it down for myself, girl, when I was in this room at night by myself, I was going through it. And the first person I ran to was God. Yes, sir. I ran to God first. I ran to God first every day. I needed that. Like, I would not have made it to the point of, like, where I'm at right now in my life if I didn't run to God. Because, like, that is the only thing that's gotten me through. That self-help podcast, you know, all them little narcissist videos, like, yeah, like, I had to realize, like, okay, girl, this is the reality of what the situation was. Like, let's be real with ourselves, you know? Like, as women, we really like to create this, like, false reality in our head of, like, what the situation is, when in reality, it's, like, completely different than what you're thinking the situation is. And we just don't realize it because we're so delusional. You know what I mean? We're so delusional. We're caught up in our fairy tale land, and we hold on to the potential. We hold on to the future them because we see the future them. You get what I'm saying? So we hold on to that, and we don't see the reality of the situation for what it really was. But me sitting in this room, okay, by myself, no job, nothing else better to do, I was literally just sitting here just in shambles every day. And it's hard also being the strong friend, because a lot of people don't feel like they need to check in on you, you know? Like, it doesn't look like you're struggling, so they don't feel like you're struggling, so they don't check in on you. And that's kind of like how my situation was. Like, I had a few people who would check in here and there, but, you know, it was like me, myself, and God, like, really. And I'm not mad at it because your journey is your journey. Like, you cannot put your emotional obligations on your friends. Like, it's not their obligation to get you through a situation that you're going through. Like, yes, they can be there for help and they can be there for counseling, but, like, it's not their job to get you through your breakup. You get what I'm saying? So, and I had to realize that too, because I had started to get a lot of resentment. Like, are these bitches really my friends? Like, you know, like, nobody's here for me. But it's also like, okay, that's not their job to be there for you. Like, you got to get yourself through the situation. Like, no one is coming to save you. And that is something I want to tell y'all too. If you're going through this situation, like, nobody is coming to save you, girl. The only person who can get you out of this mental prison that you put yourself in after a breakup is yourself. But yeah, I started, like, praying a lot more, had more talks with God. And that was another thing for me. It's like, if your relationship is pulling you away from your connection with God, is that really a relationship for you? Because I feel like a lot of my relationships, my first one, I would say he didn't really pull me away from my relationship with God, because we would watch, like, church service together and pray together and stuff like that. But my last one, I will say, I didn't have as strong of a relationship with God as I should have throughout my entire relationship. And that is so important, because God will tell you, like, is this person for you? God will tell you, you know? So I really leaned on God a lot in my healing process. And then I had to get real with, like, reflecting. Like, I spent a long period of time, like, reflecting, and I still cared. Like, for a long time, I still loved him. I'm like, what the heck? Like, after all of this, right? And I think also this is where I try to tell all of my friends who are going through, like, their little breakups and stuff, like, you're gonna want to take him back. You're going to want, like, that is so normal. Like, that is so normal. That is such a normal feeling. But you have to push through that feeling, because breakthrough is right on the other side of that feeling. You know, like, you're like, you know, I want to go back to this situation. It didn't make me feel good about myself, and it didn't help my life in any type of way, really. But for some reason, I really want to go back to this person. That is attachment. That is attachment. That is not because you really want to go back to the person, I promise you. So I had, like, despite everything, I had like really still cared for that person. I'm like, I still care about this person. I still love this person. I didn't want to break up with this person, but I felt like I didn't have another choice. But then things kept happening. It's like as I kept praying and as I kept going through my day-to-day life, things kept happening that were showing me, like, this person is not for you. Like, this person is not for you. Like, I had girls reaching out to me on Instagram. Like, I had, like, it was so much, y'all. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was crazy. I was going through my breakup, and there are girls reaching out to me about him after we already broke up. And it's like, first of all, y'all have no regard. Like, I'm healing right now. Y'all are reaching out about this man that y'all know I just broke up with. Crazy. Like, crazy. Crazy. And that would hurt me more. Like, it was like the hurt of the breakup, and then there was more hurt after the breakup. I'm like, why am I still going through hurt about the same person, and like, we're not even together? Like, what the freak? So yeah, like, I had been going through a lot, and then I had been going through a lot of family problems at the same time as well. So I was like, I was getting hit from all angles, y'all. Like, this was a very transformative period of time for me in my life, and I can see why everything happened how it happened. But man, it was rough. Like, it was rough and tough. Okay. But as much as you care and love that person still, you know what I mean, despite it all, it's important to know that you can love somebody still, but love them from a distance. I can love somebody and wish them well from a distance. This person doesn't have to be in my life. And this person, for sure, does not need to be taken back and put as an integral part of my life. Like, that is, like, the worst thing you can do, is just, like, letting a man back in your life that, like, has been proven and shown to not be for you. I had, like, gone through, you know, that phase. And I had realized, like, okay, I can love this person and wish this person well. And all of that from a distance. But yeah, I had to start going to therapy, and honestly, going to therapy really helped me a lot, because I learned why I'm attracted to I learned why I was attracted to emotionally unavailable men. And I'm like, why do I love an unavailable man? Like, I love me unavailable men, okay? Like, if there were two men in the club and one was trying to talk to me and BLF on me, and there was another one who was like looking at me the whole night but didn't say anything, but was just standing in the corner and was like curving everybody, I want that one. I want the challenge. But one thing that comes with is, like, now your whole relationship is a challenge. Now the entire relationship, you're pulling, you're chasing, you're dragging, like, it translates. And I didn't know that for the longest time. I'm like, yeah, I want the meanest one in the room. Give me the meanest man in the room. Now, give me the man who wants me and shows me that he wants me, and tells me that he wants me, and reassures me that he wants me. I don't want somebody where I'm like, does he want me? Does he not want me? And I was the type of person for a long time that I wanted the one I had to question. I wanted the one that I was, like, not sure about. You know what I mean? And that stems from a whole bunch of other issues that we're not going to get into, because we could talk for hours about that. But I wanted the one that didn't want me. Or I wanted the one that I was like, that was, like, mysterious. That I had to, like, you know what I mean? I was attracted to the toxicity. And it translates in your relationships. And I had to learn that. And I'm like, also, when I would get into relationships, when I look at the timing of both of the times that I've gotten in relationships, I realized that they were at, like, the worst times I could have possibly got into a relationship. Both of the times that I got into relationships, it was times in my life where I was going through, like, really stressful and emotional things. My camera keeps coming out of focus. I was going through really stressful and emotional things, and I was at a point in my life where I was like desperate for a man. Like I can be real enough to say that, like, desperate for a man. And I feel like men smell that, especially men who want to take advantage of you and men who want to manipulate you can see that. And I was at a point where I'm like, I want a relationship right now. So the first best option that we can go with, I'm taking it. And that was literally with both of my relationships, and that was a sign in itself that I was not ready to be in a relationship. I don't think either of the times that I got in relationships I was truly ready to be in a relationship. My camera died, but both of the times I got in relationships, I really don't think I was ready to be in a relationship. But at the same time, I think that it's pivotal for every woman to go through relationships, even if you aren't ready, because you don't know that you're not ready until after it happens. And you learn a lot of lessons in those relationships that you wouldn't have learned unless you went through the relationship. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I don't ever beat myself up about failed relationships, because at the end of the day, I keep getting tongue-tied today. What's going on? At the end of the day, it's all part of a bigger plan and a bigger picture. When you meet your husband, you're gonna be ready. You're gonna know your boundaries. You're gonna know your triggers, because you went through trial runs. You get what I'm saying? So I never am mad at, like, relationships ending, or mad at, like, me going through with being with people, because people are sent into your life to teach you lessons at the end of the day, always. And I definitely learned me some big lessons, okay, being with both of the people that I was with. And I will say, like, both of the people that I was with, they weren't bad people. Like, they were actually really good people at a certain point in time. You know what I mean? Like, I was in love with them, so they had to be some type of good person. They just weren't for me, and that's fine. But yeah, I just would be desperate, you know what I mean? And I would just choose, like, the first best thing, instead of, like, cool, we have a great option, let's add him to the roster and see if he can line up with the other great options that I have. I just went straight into, like, yeah, we cuffing. We're together. That's my man. And I definitely should have taken a little longer and taken a little more time with the process of vetting who I was going to be with, and, like, seeing if we were compatible through different things and different circumstances. But anyway, to get over it, I just kept busy, y'all. Like, I got super busy. I got busy AF, okay? I would say, if you miss your ex, you're not busy enough. If you miss your ex, you're not busy enough. Because when you're busy, your mind is in so many other places focused on yourself. Like, you don't have time to miss your ex. So yeah, I got super busy. I finished my real estate courses. I went to Arizona a few times to attempt to pass my final real estate exam. Hopefully the next time I go, it is the last time I will be going. It is a hard test. I wouldn't even lie to y'all. But yeah, I got busy. I got a full-time job. I started locking in with my YouTube content. Even though I wasn't posting, I told you guys why I wasn't posting in my last video. Even though I wasn't posting, I was still filming content and perfecting my craft and looking into, you know, new apartments of where I want to go, and just getting busy and getting locked in on my future and things that pour into me and things that help benefit me and may not benefit me now, but will benefit me in the long run. I was planting seeds. That's what I was doing. I was planting seeds. And right now, those seeds are a little premature, but they're growing. And when they finish growing, it's going to be a great story to tell. And it's going to be an amazing journey. But I think a lot of people go wrong when they revert back to going back to their, you know, their past things that they're trying to heal from. Like, if you are going to take your ex back, because I'm not against taking your ex back, but if you are going to take your ex back, at least take some time in between taking him back to pour back into yourself a little bit, so you're clear, like, okay, yeah, this is somebody I actually really care about. based off of my healing, I know I really care about this person versus I'm attached to this person and I'm not with this person anymore. So now I want to go back to the person. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference with that. I started working out more, you know what I mean? Like, just doing things, taking my dog on walks along the water for hours, like 4-mile walks, like just doing things that help me clear my mind, journaling, and finding my peace again. Like, that really helped me get over my breakup. It takes time. Like, it's not something that I literally woke up one day and was like, okay, I'm over my ex today. Like, I'm just now getting to a point pretty much 7 months later where I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I still think about him sometimes and he crosses my mind every now and then. But it's not something where it's like my impulses are like, oh my gosh, like, what is he doing? Like, is he, you know what I mean? Like, it's different now. Like, I feel calm, and it's completely normal to miss somebody that was your friend and to miss somebody that you spent a lot of your life and your time with. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go back to that. Like, it's fine that that was an experience that you had and an experience that you were able to witness, but like, coming to terms with like being like, okay, this is the reality of the situation and this is where we're at, like, is the part of healing where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm healed. I feel like I'm healed from that part. I'm healed from the hurt. You know what I mean? I know that there are going to be things in my next relationship that probably trigger me, but it's not like I'm not over my ex. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't stalk his page. Like, I don't do anything like that. I think the thing that made my healing process a little harder was the fact that he kept reaching out at certain points. Because it's like, it was like every time that he reached out and I had to be like, no, like, we're done. Like, stop talking to me. Stop calling me. It felt like I was going through the breakup all over again. Like, that was the worst part. Like, that, I will say, because my first ex, like, once I told him we're done, like, don't ever speak to me again, he really did not speak to me ever again. So that was easy because I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, he's not speaking to me, we're cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Like, I'm healing, I'm going along with my life, and like, I don't have to worry about him reaching out. My last one was reaching out, and it was like every time it was just triggering. Like, I was getting triggered even if I didn't answer, because 90% of the time I never answered the calls. Like, he would call and I literally wouldn't answer and he would just keep calling, or he would have like his friend reach out to me and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, or like calling my mom, reaching out to my mom. I'm like, bruh. Calling my mom, reaching out to my mom. I'm like, this is too much. This is too much for me. And it was like, I wasn't healed. And it was just like way too much. It was a hard process, y'all. But like, I looked forward to today. I looked so forward to today because it was hard. It was hard. People are like, oh my God, like, you got over it so easy. So no, I didn't. Like, didn't get over it easy at all. Like, that was the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my life. Truly. And I'm also the type, like, I don't jump straight into the hoe phase after a breakup. I think that's another thing that really helped me heal a lot faster, because like, a lot of people like to ignore their problems and then look to other people to like fill the void of their problems, but the problems still chase them, and eventually at one point it might be a buildup of problems, because now you have the problems from your relationship plus the problems of your situationships that you started, and it's just a lot of extra problems. And for me, I like to really fully heal before I start dating, even if it's like situationships, you know what I mean? Even if it isn't something serious, I like to heal and then I enter back in the streets. Like, I don't like to just, as soon as I break up, I'm out. Like, no. I like to like really get in tune with myself again, find myself again, because I'm constantly evolving. People constantly evolve. I'm getting used to the new version of myself with the new knowledge that I have and the new lessons that I've learned. I have to adjust to that before I start dating again. Like, I'm not the type to jump straight into a situationship or a whole phase. I know men are completely different, but like for me, I can't do it, especially if I really cared about the person that I like the relationship ended with. Like if I was in love with the person, like I can't jump straight into doing, like it just didn't feel right. Like the opportunities definitely presented itself, but I just remember being like, there's no way. Like I probably would be in the middle of it and start crying. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would just be in shambles. Like I was not prepared for that. So really just like remaining abstinent and like isolating myself, but also God isolated me, but also I isolated myself, you know what I mean, really helped me like get back in tune with myself. And now I feel ready again to start doing that, you know what I mean, and start dating, not doing that, but like dating, you know. Okay, we're about to do my lip, my favorite lip combo ever. If you guys have always been wondering like what lip shades I use, I'm about to tell you right now. The dupe for this one that I'm about to tell you is MAC Chestnut. It's literally the exact same color, but this is the NYX Line Loud lip liner in the shade Rebel Kind. You guys already know what it gives. Like I do this lip combo literally every video. And then I go in with this MAC lipstick. It's a matte lipstick in the shade I Love You Back. This is like the prettiest like Barbie doll pink lipstick. Love it. I could never do it without a lip liner because it's just too pink for me, but and then I go in with this Juvia's Place lip gloss. It's the coffee shop lip gloss in the shade Cream de Cacao. This, and it smells amazing. It smells amazing. So we're just gonna go over everything. Yes. So the natural lash kind of is throwing me off, but it's fine. Like it is what it is. It is what it is. With the look, I think it's okay. But yeah, that is it, you guys. I want to give you guys a little bit of what is going on with me today? I want to give you guys a little bit of advice before I end the video. If you are a young girl who is starting relationships or has been in a few relationships, or if you're even healing from a breakup, before you get into another relationship, just make sure that you are whole and happy and content in your own life by yourself. Because when you do get in a relationship, like a man is just a plus. It's just an add to your life. Like it's just an extra. Like you should be coming into the relationship as their left shoe. The man is gonna come in as the right shoe. Like you need to have your own friend group, your own things that you're doing, your own trips that you're going on if that's what you like to do, your own routine. Like you should be completely content being by yourself. Like a man coming into your life should be a surprise. Like, oh, like, you know, and even if it isn't something that is for you, when you're whole and happy and content being by yourself, it's easy for you to say that, no, this is not for me. Like, this isn't gonna work, because you're fine with being by yourself. A lot of people are unhappy and stuck in their unhappy relationships because they're scared of being alone. They don't want to be alone. They don't like being alone. Like, if you don't like being alone with yourself, do you think your man likes being with you? Really ask yourself that question. I like to ask myself that question because it's like, if I don't like my own company, how can anyone else like my own company? I think that's why people say, like, love yourself. Like, if you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love you? Because if you don't love yourself, if you don't implement things into your life that make you love your own life, how can someone else enjoy and love being in your life with you? Because as a partnership, you guys are integrated into each other's lives. Like, if you don't even like your life, why would someone else like your life? Like, why would you bring someone else into your life when you don't like your life? You know? So just pour into yourself and do the things that make you happy, and even when you get in a relationship, still continue to pour into yourself and do the things that make you happy, because a happy wife, a happy life, a happy you makes a happy relationship. If you want a happy and healthy relationship, because I'm tired of these toxic relationships, you know what I mean? I want a happy and healthy relationship. So if that means I gotta sit down and double down and maybe be lonely for a little bit and turn away people that aren't for me to be happy with myself so that I can attract somebody who can also add to my happiness, I'm fine with doing that. Like, I'm tired of the toxicity. Like, if you're tired of the toxicity, you got to become that person that can attract the person that is meant for you. But yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you guys are notified every time I post a video. And if you guys want to follow me on all my social medias, make sure to look in the description box. I have my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Twitter down there. So if you guys want to follow me on there, feel free to do that, and I'll see you guys in my next video.